welcome to InfoWeb. You have probably all seen that sometimes the GPS seems to be lost and it jumps around and it doesn't seem to know where it is. And that's a phenomenon that I would like to explain today. So here I have drawn a very simplified version of a map. And the problem with a GPS that we're using is it only has one sensor, and that is the GPS receiver. And the GPS receiver is telling the device or the software where it is. And in an ideal world, the GPS receiver would be super accurate and it would always tell the software you're on this road, and now you're on this road, and now you're on this road. And that would perfectly make sense. Now in a real world, what happens is the GPS receiver gives a position somewhere around here. And then the navigation software has to make sense of that and then must figure out where it actually is. So it's pretty easy to say, for instance, that, well, most likely your actual position is here. But what happens if the GPS receiver says, well, you're here? That can happen very often. If you are in downtown areas where the GPS reception is not very good, or if you have not placed your GPS receiver in the perfect location, then you might get a result like that. So there, the navigation system doesn't have any chance of figuring out where you are. That's why we have a piece of software that we call the map matching algorithm in our software, and all navigation softwares have that. And the map matching algorithm is trying to make sense of data like that. So what we do is we don't only look at one position, but rather we look at a set of positions. And that might typically look something like this. And if you see this, then you can say, well, if you've been on this road, because that's what this looks like, then if the next position is here, then you must still be on this road, because there is no way you can have turned up there, or you can't be there. But maybe actually your path has gone like that, so there's still a margin of error in that. So there are two aspects that have impact on the accuracy of the map matching. One is the accuracy of the map matching of the GPS position, and the other obviously is the accuracy of the map, because it may well be that a new road has been built there, and that is not yet in the map data. And what that looks like, I can show you in another video that I've made.
So, jetzt komme ich an die Stelle, wo die Autobahn hier verlegt wird. Das ist so nicht digitalisiert. Ja, und da sieht man auch, wie er völlig durcheinander kommt.
So as you just saw on the recording that I made in my car, the GPS got completely confused and wasn't making sense and didn't know where it was. And we can look at the GPS recording from that drive here. And this is the north of Cologne, and I was crossing the bridge over the Rhine here. And then you can see it on these aerial images. They're building a new bridge here. So they're doubling this bridge and they're building a new lane. And you can see here, this is basically the video sequence that I recorded. And the software starts getting confused here. So you can really see how I turn off and how the distance is equal to this road from that road. And when it goes over a certain threshold, then the software gets confused. And this makes even more sense if we look at the underlying map data, because then it looks like this. So this is how we drove. It goes away from the road and then approaches it back again, and then it catches itself and it starts matching onto the Autobahn again. yeah, that's how this happens. And so now I hope you have learned a little bit about map matching and how tricky it is to make sense of GPS data and mix it up or match it up with maps. And yeah, you understand a little better maybe why sometimes also GPS software doesn't seem to make any sense.